I forget the whatchamacallit. I forgot um I forgot everything. Not that I didn't have my sake. Okay, okay. So we're gonna have, back to the thing. Back to the journey downtown. We're gonna reintroduce everything because yesterday we didn't really get much of a viewing. So at $5, we have sunglasses and current model, meaning that if you donate $5, I will put sunglasses on that for you. $15, spin the punishment wheel. I finally created the punishment wheel. After yesterday, I was like, I should probably make it. So I made it before stream, of course. Um, $40. Switch to a Roblox game, any game. If I have a live guest, it's going to be their choice. At $60, we have a cooking stream. That cooking stream will be taking place on a different day, not during the donathon. But we'll get to it. $85. We switched to Jackbox on stream. Don't worry. Then $120. Chat picks pin tweet for a week. So it has to be not safe for work, because I will not allow it. At $165, no cursing for 15 minutes. It's gonna be hard, but we're gonna do what we gotta do. At $240, chat picks a Twitter banner for a week. The same thing applies for the pinned tweet. No, not safe for work at all. At $420, 5 spin on the punishment wheel. So that means 5 punishments at once, or I'm gonna die. At $2,000, chat picks new model outfit. The goals are still the same from yesterday. If you haven't seen it, you can check the VOD that's on. Hold on. That's on this thing. That's on my Twitch. So, now, what we're gonna do, we're going to play. Drum roll, please. That's not a fucking drum roll. Give me a drum roll! Whatever. We're playing live. We're playing live. Cause it's kind of fun. It's actually really fun. So, smiley face. Hold on. Let me guess. Image. We're going to put this in the corner. Like that. So you're big enough to see. And then we're done. Bye bye. Yes, it is still in French. I am not changing it because I think it's kind of funny. So, let's play some live. Also, like beef jerky. I stole it out of my thing. I think it's my brother's or something. I don't care. It's mine now. And it has like pepper in it. They're both on one. if anyone's gonna join. So when you're here, new plants. How we get my ass beat? Why not? Because it's funny. Oh, it's my turn. Fetch bed. Meow. I think you'll go first, finally. Assume college. Let's get that cat up. 10. Let's do blue. Let's get that 10. I hate my life. Bro, the bots are better than you. Coupons. I love coupons. Oh, my turn. Oh. Let's go. Blue. Gotta get that 10. is my turn. It is my turn. Gotta get that thing. Let's go. I want this. Oh, my bad. La 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 la. If you want to be famous as me, you gotta work, gotta work, gotta work. Watch me work. I was doing something. Give me 5 minutes. Gotta get that thing. If you choose me, I'm gonna kill you. These bots have favoritism. misses me. It's my time. To be as sweet as me. If you want to be as sweet as me, you gotta work. This is favoritism. Bro, you see how poor I am? I don't think I'm working out. I calculated anything right. Is it my turn now? Finally! Oh my god. Hold on. Let me check something. I'm getting sleepy. Once it's Thursday, okay, so I still won by a landslide. I got 13 children too. It was funny. I gotta wait for someone to start streaming. So, we're gonna procrastinate for a minute. It's 104 days of summer vacation. I just spend it. We're going to wait until somebody starts streaming. Because I want to go read them. Plus, I'm getting really sleepy because I had a really long day today. Let's see what we can do in the meantime. Okay, I have an idea. We're gonna watch some documentaries while we wait. If YouTube can load.
We're Gen Alpha influencers at core.
Also, by the way, this is an hour long. So, I'm going to make my model look sleepy. Let me find a blanket. Watch this.
We're Gen Alpha influencers. Of course we are obsessed with skincare.
So we're witnessing the first chunk of grown-up iPod kids entering society.
Dear younger kids and teens, can you pull?
We're Gen Alpha influencers. Of course we are obsessed with skincare.
So we're witnessing the first chunk of grown-up iPod kids entering society.
Dear younger kids and teens, can you please stop doing this?
Everybody run to the battle station. The Sephora kids are coming.
No! We're gonna hold rejects me!
For years, it has been common for curious children to find and play with their parents' clothes and makeup. Now, with the rise of skincare, it's understandable to assume that along with eyeshadows and lipsticks, children are seeing parents use moisturizers and serums. So, naturally, they're going to be curious about that as well. With that being said, the bigger change seems to be the marketing behind these skincare and beauty brands. Instead of having a brand create specific products for children, the way stores create child-friendly makeup kits, for example, the same skincare brands that have been marketing to adults for years have just accepted the fact that children as young as 6 years old are now raiding stores like Ulta and Sephora, and the brand owners do not seem to be concerned about it at all. In fact, they seem to be welcoming them to the same products their parents use with open arms. This new Sephora craze is actually sort of a problem because a lot of the products that children are using actually aren't the safest for them, as we'll get into later. If you didn't know, big multi-million-dollar retail brands and corporations do not care about you or I. They do not care about children either. What they care about most is money.
What did you say?
I know. It's such a hard thing to believe. I hate to be the bearer of bad news here, though. It's the truth, and I'm sure you're shocked about that. And for anyone who doesn't use or know about skincare products, you might be wondering, what's the big deal? Is this really the worst thing that kids could be doing these days? Years ago, kids were getting burnt to crisps in tanning beds, increasing their risk of skin cancer. Now kids are taking care of their skin, right? Well, not exactly in the way you think they would be. I think there will always be concerns about trends and whether or not they are good for certain age demographics, but to put it simply, one thing being bad does not automatically make the other thing good. There are many examples given as to why people are concerned for this new Sephora kids situation. And yes, I will also get into why some people are concerned for the wrong reasons. There are some people who have such an intense hatred for tweens that they will bully them for liking anything that is currently trending, no matter what it is. More on that later. As always with my videos, the further we get into this discussion, the worse things will get. This goes from kids who want unnecessary items from Sephora to certain parents who commercialize their children into influencing your children to wanting to buy products from Sephora that they do not need. There are children who barely know how to pronounce the things that they are putting on their face. Spoiler for this video, a 6-year-old doesn't need anti-aging products. But I'm going to stop myself there before I get too angry too early in this video. Since the 2023 holiday began, there's been a lot of discourse around children wanting very expensive skincare items, the most popular being drunk elephants. Should they be using these products, or are we overreacting with the outrage? What will be the eventual outcome of kids using skincare as young as 6 years old? Will there eventually be some mental and physical repercussions to this? Probably. And why are some parents pushing their children to promote these products to other kids?
Money!
Before the craze with tweens, Drunk Elephant has been a very reputable brand. I've tried a few Drunk Elephant products, and to be honest, the skincare brand is not my favorite. Now, that's not me hating on the brand. What might not work for me might work great for you. It's just not my favorite. Not to be like this lady, though, who thinks that not being able to afford luxury skincare brands is childish.
Do you see all of these products right here? Mainly this one. They don't sell those products and those brands at Sephora. Sephora does not sell medical grade skincare. Drunk Elephant is not good skincare. Sol de Janeiro is for children. It's for girls in high school and middle school. The reason why there are so many kids in Sephora is because Sephora is for kids. It's a kids store.
I'm sorry, this is the first time I've ever heard anybody say that Sephora is a kids store. Also, you, I'm an adult and I love Sol de Janeiro. Their scents smell really good. I'll wear what the I want. Unless it's the one that people are saying attracts spiders. There is a little Chester and he's so snuggly, being such a good boy. You don't need these specific brands. There are a lot of other products that you can use that'll still be good for your skin and will still make your skin feel very nice. You don't require luxury brands as long as you're within the right age demographic for certain chemicals used in the products. Use whatever brand you want as long as it works for you and as long as you like it. But back to Drunk Elephant though, not all of their products are meant for kids, yet they love this brand. There's much speculation on why kids seem to be suddenly obsessed with Drunk Elephant. I've heard employees from my local store say it's because kids think that the elephant logo is cute. By the way, yes, this is a cartoon that has repetitively appeared on Drunk Elephant's YouTube channel. While I knew the brand existed, I did not know these cartoons existed until doing research for this video. With that being said, I can totally understand the comments that I've heard from employees stating that children really think the elephant is cute, that's why they want the product. Although I would argue that this is fucking terrifying.
Return the slime.
I've heard others say it's because of the colorful packaging. Maybe it's even from seeing their parents using the products over the years. More likely they could be seeing their favorite influencer using these products. However, when that argument comes up, I have an issue with it. TikTok isn't meant for children under the age of 13, and a lot of the children who want these products are under the age of 13. While influencers might be introducing the product to a child who stumbles upon their account when they shouldn't be on TikTok, it is the parents' responsibility to make sure that their children are not using apps that they're not the appropriate age for. And I get it, parenting is hard, and monitoring every single thing their child is doing with their iPad or cell phone sounds like a nightmare, but it is your responsibility to make sure what they're doing is safe for them. And if you do find out that they have a TikTok and they're following a bunch of influencers pushing this product, maybe don't buy it for them when they ask for it. Which, by the way, this brings me to my next point. A lot of kids under the age of 13 definitely seem to be influenced by other TikTokers, which, yes, means that they are using an app that they're not supposed to be using. What's interesting is that some of the influencers who are influencing these children also seem to be under the age of 13. So how are they posting on TikTok? Well, it's technically the parents posting these videos of their children promoting these products. It's this fun little loophole that we're going to dive into.
We're Gen Alpha influencers. Of course we are obsessed with skincare.
Influencers who are so young, they can barely pronounce the names of the items they are using.
Low recipe toner.
Oh yeah, this is gonna get infuriating. And just to put it bluntly, this is not due to the children. This is due to the parents commercialing them. Hi handsome, did you wake up from your nappy? Before we get ahead of ourselves, children between the ages of 6 and 12 years old seem to be raiding their Sephora stores across the nation, and so many employees have taken to TikTok to share their experiences about it. Here are a few clips from various different TikTokers.
I went to Sephora today so I could use my $25 gift card, and there was a really long line, and by the time I got in line, this girl gets behind me, and she ends up like walking in front of me, and she's like, "Oh, are you in line?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Well, can I get in front of you?" And I'm like, "No, the big ass long line back here." And she rolls her eyes at me and gets behind me. And by the time we get closer to the cashier registers, you can like look at all the little stands with all the mini stuff. And I'm just like looking, I'm not really grabbing anything. And this girl, she has this big ass bag, by the way. She's like maybe 10 or 11 at most. She walks past me and like hits me with her back. And I turn around like, what the f? And she's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." I was like, "You can at least say excuse me." She's like, "Well, I tried to, but apparently you're deaf." And she gets back in line behind me after whatever she gets. And I start feeling like this box like rubbing on my back. And like I start moving around so it can stop. I obviously know it's the girl behind me. And it keeps rubbing on my back. And I turn around and I'm like, "Can I get some personal space?" And then she was like, "Oh, you're just in my way."
One time, this girl came in with her mom, and she was obviously very young, okay? And she came in with a screenshot of baby facial. If you do not know what baby facial is, it is an extremely strong glycolic acid peel, alright? It's a chemical exfoliant. So she comes in with this screenshot, and I look at her, and I'm like, "How old are you?" I ask. She tells me she's 9. 9. So then I ask, "Have you ever used a chemical exfoliant before?" She proceeds to tell me that she uses the ordinary peel mask daily. How about kids come in with chemical burn?
We didn't have a tester in that, so she helped herself. She took the plastic off one of the brand new bottles and started spraying it. So I obviously had to damage that out, and I asked her to not do it again. And that, she wasn't happy with the way I said that.
Is anybody teaching their children manners anymore? This is not a tester, so We can't sell this now.
Dear younger kids and teens, can you please stop doing this to the testers inside of Ulta's and Sephora's? It is absolutely barbaric. It's disgusting. It's so rude. It's so disrespectful. Like, literally, who raised you guys like this? I am appalled.
She goes, oh my gosh, they don't have it. Like, she literally screamed it. And then they started, like, mixing stuff with the drunk elephant tester. Then they start opening up the packaged items that you buy, and they start mixing those.
The Sephora kids have reached Target.
To be fair, these are just stories, they're testimonies, so take everything with a grain of salt. So some big problems a lot of people have been pointing out are parents just dropping their kids off at these stores almost as if they expect the employees to also be babysitters while they go and shop for other things. This is not new, by the way, nor is it exclusive to Sephora. When I worked in several different retail stores, parents did this, I don't want to say all the time, but they've done it more than I feel comfortable experiencing. Employees for retail jobs don't expect babysitter to be required on their resume when applying for a position at a store. More importantly, just because somebody works at a store you're shopping in doesn't mean that they're not a total stranger. You don't know if they're qualified to watch your kids or not, and even if they are qualified, if they're in the middle of doing their job and helping other customers, they can't drop everything and babysit your child while you go shopping in a different section or an entirely different store. In a store, God forbid, if anything does happen to a child, there are codes and protocols that are followed and they're taken very seriously. But with that said, you should not be using those protocols as a safety net to walk off without your child and go shopping. You have no idea who could be shopping around in these stores. Employees are not your personal security, and you'd think that would be common sense, but parents doing this is more common than you would imagine. Number 2, the unsupervised children are claimed to be aggressive, rude, invasive, and just overall feral. Screaming at employees and other shoppers, ruining products, screaming at their parents to buy them items when the parents actually are there. A reminder, this isn't every child that shops in Sephora. This is just a very common claim made by other shoppers and employees. Number 3, claims are made that parents just drop hundreds to even thousands of dollars on skincare products for their kids who don't even need the product to begin with.
Her mom was like, do you really need 2 of the same ones? It's like $80 each. She was like, Mom, I need it. And she starts flipping out and her mom was like, oh my God. Whatever, her mom buys it. Her mom goes, can you carry the bag? I'm going to go shopping. Because we're in clothes. She was probably going to go get something for herself. And the daughter goes, why do I have to carry it? She snatches the bag and goes on. And I was like, oh my God. I'm not going to say too much because I kind of like my job and I want to keep it, but they are out of control.
This girl pulls out her phone. Looks like it was either the 13, 14, or 15 Pro Max. She goes, Mom, where are you? We're about to check out. In that exact tone. Next thing that I hear is, I need your card. Hurry up. This is embarrassing. In like the rudest tone ever. If I talked to my mama like that, I would have no teeth in my mouth. But right as they get to the register, we were still in line. Like we were just one person behind them. Guess the mom of the girl with the basket walks in. As the Sephora worker is ringing like the girl's stuff up, the mom goes, stop scanning please. Stop scanning please. Literally just like that. The mom goes, this is absurd. You girls can pick 3 apiece out of this pile. The little girl with the basket looked at her mom, and I'm pretty sure everyone in Sephora could hear her, goes, I want it all! Like, not that loud, but it was loud.
They give in and buy their children the expensive item from Sephora, or they compromise and they tell them you can get one of these 2 very expensive items. Not to be that guy and say, when it was me, I do want to say that growing up, if I had given my mother a hard time and embarrassed her like that in public, I would be leaving that store empty-handed, and that would be the least of my problems after that situation. Allowing your children to act like this with 0 consequence is going to set them up to act like this continuously as they get older, and that is a terrifying thought.
The 10-year-old little girl spending their Christmas money at Sephora epidemic is so much bigger than that, because in 2010, Apple released its very first iPad, so we're witnessing the first chunk of grown-up iPad kids entering society. And no wonder they're so rude. They grew up on iPads. They were not properly socialized.
And number 5, kids wanting specific products such as retinol that could potentially be harmful to their skin. And yes, retinol could be used for younger skin if they have issues like acne, but many of the children who want these products are too young to even have acne. We're talking about kids who are 6, 7, 8 years old. Kids who just want the product because they see other people using it. But they also feel like they need these products when they are between the ages of 6 to 10 years old. At that age, their skin is the most youthful it ever will be, and there's a lot of theories that by using products at such a young age, they will do more damage to their skin than helping it. Seriously, if you look at the description of these glow drops everyone is going crazy for, sure, they give you a bronzy summer glow that anybody at any age might like, but if you look closer, it also talks about reducing fine lines and wrinkles. What child needs to worry about that? After tons of criticism from both concerned parents and employees, Drunk Elephant finally responded. There's an article written on Beauty Independent, and right off the bat, I already dislike the title. Drunk Elephant says many of its products are designed for kids. This brand has been around for years, and kids just so happen to recently start infiltrating their market, which is increasing demands for Drunk Elephant products. Where they get designed for kids in this article is from a post Drunk Elephant has made on their Instagram. Can kids and tweens use Drunk Elephant? Yes, many of our products are designed for all skin, including kids and tweens. To be clear, this is worded differently than the way the statement actually was written, but I'm still not a fan of the way the original statement started off. In my opinion, it seems that they were very hasty to say yes instead of saying some products are safe and some aren't. However, the second sentence does say, first, I would stay away from our more potent products that include acids and retinols. Their skin does not need these ingredients quite yet. They don't go into details as to why children should stay away from products with acids and retinols in it. Instead, they say, they just don't need them yet. Not only do most kids not need retinol, but on top of that, it could be harmful for most of them. But this company dances around that in this post, and I find that to be extremely irresponsible and deceptive. They then provide a list of child-safe products, which we will get into in a minute, but they don't give any information on the products that are not child-safe, which I personally think that this was allegedly done to take advantage of ignorant customers. Hear me out. With products that have a long list of ingredients on the back, you're reading the ingredient list as you're in the store with your child who's getting fussy and demanding that they want this product and begging you for it, and the store is crowded, the line is really long, you're trying to get out. Are you going to sit there and read every single item on that ingredient list? You should, absolutely, 100% before you make the decision to buy it for your child, but realistically speaking, do you think that every single parent in this situation will? It would be much easier to determine whether or not this is one of the safe or not safe products if they included a list of products that were unsafe, because when you leave a list of products that are safe but don't list everything, it leaves a gray area of, well, is this a new product that came out? Maybe I misread and didn't see this one. It would be more beneficial to have a list of products that were unsafe, in fact, than it would be to have a list of products that were safe, because you would know directly what to stay away from and you'd be more likely to remember it. Again, this is just my speculation, but I personally believe with the way that this was written that this company is banking off of parents' ignorance when shopping in stores with children. At the end of the day, they know that some parents will not read all of that. They know that their parents will just try to get out of the store. That's my personal speculation. I could be wrong. I'm not saying that as fact. I'm just saying that as somebody who doesn't trust this and who also understands how consumers work. Like I said, should every parent be checking the ingredients list before they allow their kid to put this on their face? Yes, absolutely 100%. But will all parents do that? No. And whether or not that's the parent's fault or the company's, it's ultimately going to end up affecting the child. Speaking of the list of products that are safe for children to use, let's take a look at that list. Here's a list of our products that are safe for kids and tweens to use. And honestly, to spare your ears from me mispronouncing half of them, I'm just gonna let let you read these up on the screen. One thing to note is those really popular bronzing drops are listed on here along with various other products. Speaking of which, let's just take a look at the first product on this list, which I assume is called Bestie. So it's a jelly cleanser. Let's take a look at the ingredients. It seems for the major ingredients, they give a description on what it does and why it's in the product, but look at how long and detailed this is. Do you think every parent buying this stuff is going to sit in an aisle at a crowded store and read all of this? Look into what it is, and when they don't know what ingredient they're reading, they look it up on their phone to see if it's okay for their kid to use? Of course, they should. Again, I'm not saying it's right if they don't do that, but to say that every parent will do this is absolutely unrealistic. It's like when you buy a new product or sign up for something and there's a 50-page terms of agreement form that they expect you to read over and click I agree at the end. To expect the majority of people to actually do that is extremely unrealistic. But going back to this cleanser, what's interesting is that this cleanser does show acids in the ingredient lists. That's another thing they left out in this Instagram post. There are tons of different acids used in different products. They don't even try to specify what kind of acids are safe and what kinds aren't and what the difference between them are. The only way I would assume that this would be a safe acid to use on the skin without knowing what it actually is by trusting the brand when they say it is safe to use. But to be completely honest, I personally don't trust everything that this brand is saying right now. I'm not saying you should or shouldn't either. That's just my personal opinion. I'm not going to go over every single product on this list, by the way. Here is the list once again in case you want to look it up. There are a lot of ingredients to read, and believe it or not, I can't even pronounce half of them. There are some things on here that I've never even read in my life, which honestly isn't uncommon with skincare products. I feel like to fully understand the back of the bottle when it comes to skincare or any other type of product that has a lot of chemicals in it, you either need to be an esthetician or you need to be a chemist to just know all of these things off the top of your head. It would have to take extensive research on each individual ingredient for me to understand every single thing that is in this bottle and what it does to your skin. One has an ingredient list so long that you actually have to scroll to read everything. And to elaborate further, I'm not saying that everything that has a long ingredient list is bad. I'm not trying to be one of those crunchy almond moms that freaks out if something has more than 6 ingredients in it. I'm pointing all of this out to remind you how unrealistic it is to expect a parent to quickly gather all of the information they can to decide whether or not that this is something that their child should be putting on their face. I do want to take a look at one more product that is very, very popular and is on the list of safe for kids, which are these bronzing drops. The very popular bronzing drops that children of all ages on TikTok seem to love. The second ingredient on this list, by the way, well, I want to say it's shocking, but I'm not surprised at all. Matrixyl 3000 peptide blend, which it also states helps reduce the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles while promoting elasticity and resilience. On a website called Dr. Kinsella Skin, I hope I was pronouncing that right, the website states, Matrixyl 3000 is a synthetic peptide and a very popular ingredient in anti-aging skincare due to its ability to promote collagen formation. It effectively manages the aging signs and helps reverse premature aging. That definitely sounds like something a child and a tween should be using in their bronzing drops. Matrixyl 3000 mimics the ability of naturally occurring peptides to promote collagen and elastin protection, I hope I'm saying that right, which helps to even out the skin tone, making the skin look firmer and younger. So it might not be retinol, but it's still an anti-aging product. This is in those bronzing drops that children, again as young as 6, are going crazy over. I don't know if that's actually safer than retinol, but I feel confident in saying that it's probably not necessary to be adding into a child's skincare routine. So I wanted to see for myself if the Sephoras in my area have been decimated. Let's take a little field trip. I want to let you know right away that going into these stores, I did not film anything. I did not pull out my camera to try and record kids shopping or anything like that. All I did was take pictures of the displays for me to share my experience with you. First up is Ulta. It seemed like they had recently cleaned the display when I saw it, but you could tell that some of the testers have been used heavily. There was goop, dried up on some of the bottles, it was pretty gross. When I was there, I didn't see anybody using these testers, so I don't know who made them look like this. It could have just been an overusage of them throughout the entire day by multiple people, or it could have been kids making a mess. I don't know because I didn't see when it became like this, and when I was in that store, it was pretty uncrowded. This location also had tons of those bronzing drops on display right up by the front of the store. At the time, I didn't think to take a picture of it because I didn't realize how fast they sold out. When I was going in there looking at all of the products, I knew more about the fact that kids were destroying them than I did about each product that was selling out so fast. My best guess would be that they had gotten a shipment the same day that I went to that particular location, but maybe it's also because it was Ulta and not Sephora. I really don't know. The second location, a Sephora inside a Kohl's. This was surprisingly the most interesting location despite usually being the least crowded. This Sephora had taken the Drunk Elephant moisturizer bottle and put it high enough where a kid probably couldn't reach it. They also put a sign on it saying not to mix the products. One thing kids really like to do is make these skincare smoothies, which is mixing a ton of products together before putting it on their face, and they usually mix it all up on top of this particular moisturizer bottle. So I get why this was done. I just have not seen anything like this in any other Sephora, Ulta, or even online for that matter. If I remember correctly, this was also the only Sephora that I saw any kids at, but the kids here were with their mother, and it seemed like the mom was really the one shopping. It didn't seem like the kids were running around the store being disrespectful or anything like that. It was pretty normal and it was pretty quiet. There were no disruptions. With that being said, I did want to point out that it is good to see that not every parent out there is allowing their kid to just run around the Ulta, Sephora stores. There are parents that are bringing their kids in the stores, but they are watching them and making sure that they are being supervised and aren't just dumping them off and letting them do what they want. It's important to point out that not every parent is like that. The last location was a bigger Sephora inside a shopping mall. I went to both Sephoras on a Saturday evening. While this one was definitely more crowded than the Kohl's Sephora, the Drunk Elephant section was surprisingly in better condition. This Sephora seemed to have a lower stock of Drunk Elephant products for sale though. There was also less testers out, and again, a bit of product was leaking out of the testers that were available, which is kind of gross, I'm not gonna lie. There were actually more people pointing out the Drunk Elephant section and going, oh my god, that's the brand that all the kids are going crazy for right now, than there were kids going crazy over it. I will say that that area had a lot less product in it, so maybe throughout the day people were buying it, but when I was in there, again, I didn't really see too much going on. And again, this was on a Saturday when the mall is usually most crowded. Maybe it was the time of day I went there, maybe it was the location I was at. That's